Hello my crafty friends, it's Krista here from Second Chance Creation. Welcome to my channel, and I have another project share. This is actually a custom order, and I'm doing this video so the lady can look through it if she wishes. I did send her some photos, but if you want to be surprised, Irene, look away, look away. And I've made a bag for this journal as well. It's just like a little sack, because I had this bright orange fabric left over, and I have now depleted my total stock of orange. And so Irene, maybe you should get a liking for another colour now because I haven't got any orange left. And here is the skeleton, and I've actually attached it to the bag. Okay, and I'll just give you ladies a close-up. This is actually a brooch, and I thought, well, that would come really handy for Halloween. It's sort of it's a Halloween based journal, but not like the true Halloween as far as the traditional pictures that you put in them, because I don't have any of that in stock. I went through all my children's books, and I found 2 books that I was able to rip apart to use to make the storyline that goes with it throughout this journal. And so yeah, so I found an itty bitty spider and a big spider, and I found an owl, a couple of owls. I've had a napkin of pumpkins, and but as you'll see, I had fun making it, but trying to get my head around the colour orange was a bit difficult for me. For some reason, orange and red is just one of those colours. But yes, and I had a really good laugh about this one because I've put a bit of a storyline to it, and I hope I can fit it all in half an hour. So I've made this little bag, and I've just attached the brooch on here, and some applique, and what do you call these fancy things that I've gathered up? I can't even remember now. And this is just an elastic, okay, with a button, so it's just easily, you can leave it on or take it off. But I'm just going to take that off. And this journal, it's got a bit of grunge to it, you know me and my grunge. So I've put this piece of paper here so that I'm staying frame. Now, I've used the cover that I made a while ago, and it looks like, it looked like Halloween-ish, sort of spooky, cobwebby, and yeah, so I'm just going to have a look to make sure you see what I think. The texture of it is pretty cool. And here I've used one of my skins. I wanted to make it look like cobwebs, and what I did was, when I put this glue on to attach it, because I stitched it and glued it, there was a bit of glue that came out the side, and I just wiped it with a baby wipe, and all of a sudden I had all this white fluff on it. I thought, oh, I could use this as cobwebs. So you'll find a couple of pages throughout with this on it. It doesn't come off because it's attached with the glue. And I've used some black crochet fabric, some tulle, and this is from a storybook. And I've just attached the skin, popped on a flower, and of course the pumpkins just on the bottom here. All right, and it's just tied up with this pretty, really bright orange satin ribbon, which is easily to take off, and it does stand up quite nicely. It has 2 signatures. I think there's 6 in each, so that's 12 pages. So you're looking at 48 all up. Plus it has, you know, your usual tags and pockets and all the bits and pieces that go with it. So, and it's just like a rounded spine. It's pretty well secured, stitched, glued. And when I attach the base of this, I actually put in, what did I put in? Was it oh no, it was on the inside. That's it. Sorry, I got myself confused here. I'm not that far yet. So yes, so this is out of a storybook, and I think it was called The Forest, something, fairy tale or something. Had all the dark greens, looked really spooky, and it was all about mean looking elves. You know, it wasn't my sort of thing, but the pages were pretty cool. So let's venture inside, and the story is, here's Mum. She's up in very high society, and she's asked her daughters to go out in the field and pick some pumpkins. And they can pick as many as they like, the biggest ones, the smallest ones. So she has 4 daughters, and they were really excited. But Mum says under one condition: you do not go through the forest. The fields are big enough, you'll find pumpkins out there, but do not go to the forest, through the forest. And you know, when you say something to the kids, don't do it, what do? They go ahead and do it, don't they? So if I'm going to chuckle through this, you'll have to excuse me, because yeah, it's weird and wonderful, but I really enjoyed making this. Okay, let's venture in. So as you open it up, what have we got? Oh yeah, I've done some tulle here, and I'm yet to put the bookmaker's note in here. Love this, and I decoupaged a pumpkin in here. Okay, so they're going out the fields, and it was going on to dark, so you know, looking for their pumpkins. And of course one of them spotted an opening in the forest, and I decoupaged her on here so it looks real mystical. So at that moment they discovered this light coming through the forest out to the fields. And of course, what do? The daughter here was very clever. She didn't go, but the other 3 did. So as it got dark, they spotted unusual big moths. Getting dark, sky's red, going dark. So of course they ran away through the forest looking for these pumpkins, because they have heard that the pumpkins apparently grow better in the forest because the soil is much better. And here you just have a pocket, and I've just used a snippet of the storybook, and I just made a little paper ruffle. These are just scraps of paper I've just popped in there. This is from the storybook as well. It's upside down, it's trees, and I've just backed it with some paper and a ticket. So they're all bits and bobs that can just stay in here. I coffee dyed the papers, and I also inked and chalked them. Okay. So here they go. They ventured in and they found this cabin, and they peeked through the cabin, and it's got broken glass. And outside was a big vine. It had pumpkins on it. So they picked those pumpkins, and they looked through the glass, but it was too dark. But they saw these spiders, and there was a bird here trying to catch some last minute mosquitoes or flies, and there's another spider there. So that didn't take them any interest to them, so off they scurried and went back in further on. But little did they know that the farm animals at the house, they were concerned about the children, and so they followed them. And of course they're real chickens as well, aren't they? The donkey, the dog, the cat and the rooster. Funny sounds they hear, and where do they go? Oh, what is it? What is it? And they were concerned about the children, but they, you know, were pretty brave to sort of follow them to make sure they're okay. And what I did here is I scrunched the paper up, and when I coffee dyed it, I had all these creases, and to highlight the creases I just went over with my orange chalk. That's the only piece of orange that I've got left, Irene. And this is just ink. And here I've just used some green. They came across a friendly spider, okay? And they went to their friend's place out to the opening. And they asked her, can you come with us? We're going to be picking some pumpkins. And the friend said, no, no, no. I've just picked my flowers and I'm going to deliver these. So this is just a little booklet. And her friend lived out in the opening, surrounded by the forest. I have no idea who this relative is, but, you know, it's from another storybook. Really pretty, and I just popped her in there. So then they saw their auntie as they were just about to walk into the forest. And, Auntie, Auntie, come with us. And she says, no, 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 I'm in a hurry. I've got to go to the post office to mail this important letter. Okay? And it's a flash card. And I just attach that. Here is one of my original stickers. Sorry, I meant to say this with this one as well. This is my original stickers from my sticker book. So they're over 50 years old. And the same with this one. Okay? And I just used a piece of vellum here. And as they got further into the forest, they met an elf. And he found the biggest pumpkin with some corn. And the children couldn't believe it. And they said, wow. And he goes, it's all mine, it's all mine. I cut him out of the storybook and made him look as though he's, you know, grabbing hold of the pumpkin. And it has a secret spot here, and it's just an index card. And I just did a bit of spraying some inks, piece of applique. As the night drew close, it started to rain, and the birds were sheltering, and they were feasting on some pumpkins that were laying around. And the children thought, oh no, it's destroying the pumpkins. Well, they're having a break. Maybe they're having a coffee break. Who knows? It's a double pocket. Okay, and this is just a book page. Center of the first signature, and I've just got some beads on here. This is some piece of fabric, and I've cut that out. It used to be part of a dress, and of course I've kept that over the years, and I've been cutting out bits and bobs. So this is my last sort of flowers, and this is just a little flip that you can journal on. Just tied up with some bright orange organza ribbon. That's just a ticket. That's actually a band-aid, okay, to strengthen that, but you can actually tuck something in there if you wanted to. Irene, if you have anything that you wanted to pop in there. I know you don't use journals. Here I've just popped on a piece of beautiful lace, and here's one of the tags that I made from a book page. Did a bit of stenciling, bit of this was watercolors, this was chalk, part of the napkin. This is some of the fabric from the gel print fabric here, and a very old vintage button. Okay. Here's another one of my stickers. So I've used all the orange stickers. This is from an old diary, or calendar I should say. So here we've got an owl hooting in the background. This is from the storybook, and I just fussy cut out the leaves. And I had some die cuts that were gifted to me 2 years ago, I'd say. So I dug them out and I just inked it. So now they're coming to another house. Who could that be? Let's see. Hooting owl up there, and they've found some more pumpkins. So we get to the next signature, and what I've done is I've popped some tulle in there because these are really old fairy tale book pages. I thought, well, the tulle, the cloth will strengthen the spine a little bit. So here's another owl. This is one of my little specimen cards that I made a long time ago, tucked away so it's hiding in the trunk of a tree. Then they could hear some really weird sounds. It sounded like a cat, and it was. The cat was singing a song. So from far away they could hear a strange sound, and that's what it was, the alley cat song. And here's a little surprise. Couldn't help myself. Mirror, mirror on the wall. If any of you know the show called The Muppets, I used to love it. Animal just used to crack me up, and Kermit and Miss Piggy. So this sort of reminds me a little bit of that. I don't think it is from the Muppets. I don't think that's Animal. I just thought that alone was just about spooky, so I just covered her up. So off they went. So off they go now to see another auntie. Her name is Enchantress, and she makes her own perfume. So here is the card. I made this little card here, bit of splatters, and I used, I think I was meant, yeah, I shared this in my last video, I think, when I made some of these. So some stenciling, some gesso, yes, and some more of that satin ribbon. So Enchantress, off they went, because she makes perfume. But not just normal perfume, she makes Chanel pumpkin perfume. So there's a house in the clearing of the forest. It's got lots of flowers and pumpkins, but they couldn't find any pumpkins. But she does make the Chanel perfume from pumpkin, hence the orange. So they went and asked her, and she goes, "No, I'm busy. I can't come with you. I'm chilling. I'm going to an exhibition." So there she is, half dressed, just chilling. So she wasn't interested in all help pick pumpkins. By this time, the third sister decided to stay with her auntie because she got scared very quickly. She was stiff with horror. Something flew up into the air, and maybe it was an owl. Okay. And I got this from another storybook, but there was only half of it. So I fussy cut her out, used some, this is actually from last year's Halloween pack that I got from the op shop, or the dollar shop, and it's meant to be cobwebs. And I use this also for here. That's what I used here. Okay. Cut out a branch, and this was part of a barn, I think, and made it look like, you know, it's hiding behind the branch. And here is the baby wipe off the glue, because I wanted to make it look really cobwebby. So daughter number 3 stayed with her other auntie, Enchantress, because she was so frightened. She wasn't going to go any further. Then they came across another auntie. Lots of aunties, aren't they? She loves the garden. So they thought, oh, let's go and see her. She might want to come with us into the deep woods. Now, she was quite happy sitting there, smelling the flowers, watching the butterflies. She picked some leaves to take inside with her. So this is just one of my specimen cards. It's just a tag you can journal on. This is a belly band. The belly band is actually packaging, or was packaging, and I've just popped on this little stick-on flowers, and here's some of the cloth flower, a butterfly with a bit of cheesecloth there. So as they wandered deeper into the forest, they came across a bird who was made a nest and feeding the young. Here's a little film slide I took out, and this was the clear stamps, the backing of it, and I've just popped that in there. So obviously the birds arrange its little nest, and this is the center of the next signature. They've come another came across another big black bird there, and it was getting quite dark. And here you'll find a colouring postcard if you wish to use that. And you can actually use it as a postcard. And that sort of just tucks in here. Some experimental bit there. Here's that little envelope that I made from the coffee dyed papers, and this just holds an index card here. And the only thing that I did do with this one is I've attached some of those leaves. I had some of those leaves left. So they go. So as they wandered into the woods, they've collected quite a few pumpkins, and of course, the farm animals followed them, and they hid in a old shed. Here they are, poking out of the shed, because they too got scared. The donkey, the cat, and the rooster. I don't know where the dog went. And here is the bird. They asked the bird for directions. Where are the children? Where are the children? Which way will we go? Which way will we go? And as they kept going, they found Mr. Spider. This is out of a children's book. And no, he didn't know. He didn't see them. Then they asked Mr. Owl, which is when I did the dye and I coloured it, it left this mark on it. So I thought I might as well use that as well. And then I made a film, ordered a film slide, and I had this skull and bone here. Just make sure that you see it. Okay, and I've just popped it in there. Pretty spooky stuff. This is a paper clip that I've popped on here, and you've got a fabric flip here. So yeah, so they found the children, and where were they? Pumpkins everywhere at the base of a tree. They actually went into a big hollow of a tree. Oh, why didn't we stay at home? Okay. So I wonder if they learnt their lesson. There's a little itty-bitty spider there. They couldn't fit all the pumpkins in there, so they left them all thrown round on the ground in front of the tree trunk. And that's the end of the story, and they're making their way back home. As it got lighter, as they got out of the forest, they could see some more light. And that's the end of the story. So I really hope you like this, Irene. It was very challenging, as you know, because orange is not really a colour that I really use a lot. And you know, you've got this lovely bag to pop it in if you wish, and with the skeleton and your satin bow, and this just goes around the bag. All right, folks, let me know what you think. Hope you've had a giggle like I have. I haven't got as many giggles as what I had when I finished it, but I got over it. And what I was going to say was, when I attached this page, I sandwiched some cheesecloth in between the two pages so that you're getting it through here. And I think I'd done it with this one as well. I sandwiched some green organza fabric just in here, just to make it look really sort of a bit tatty. And I think that was about it. I can't remember now. Oh, and I did this one, I did the Hessian, or the burlap one. Okay, that's right, because they were at the barn, or an old shed it was. Yes, and I've done the same here, where I've sandwiched some cheesecloth between the pages here. So that's it. Let me know of your thoughts. I hope you guys are having a good day today. For those that live anywhere where we've had really bad weather, oh dear. Friends of ours, family members, their van and their truck, I think, is a write-off. This is in the Coffs Harbour coast. They got pretty well bombarded. So my thoughts are out there with any of your crafty friends that have been hit by these storms. But in the meantime, keep smiling, stay happy, stay safe, and keep crafting. Bye for now.